My professional learning network was actually birthed back in the spring for the Search and Information Landscape course. It was the first time I'd heard the term. Digging into it, I realized I already had the bones for it in place. I was already following Education Center blogs, and my Pinterest feed was full of educational things, but it wasn't really divided into categories. Pinterest adding the option to include sections within the boards was a game changer. It just took a little more organizing to evolve into its current state, which is this. I have a board for teacher librarian, and I have different sections for apps and tools and collaboration and for digital literacy. Taking a good long look at the state of my PLN back in September, it was a dumping ground for anything and anyone I found interesting, especially my Feedly feed. Taking some time to go over my Feedly feed with a deliberate and purposeful look, because even as the information specialist, am I really benefiting from the overwhelming number of tech blogs I'm subscribed to? The answer is probably no, especially when I skim right over most of them to get to the good stuff. My Feedly feed is still a work in progress, and it probably always will be. However, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Twitter has been a delightful surprise. It was the social media platform I had no interest in joining or participating in. My Twitter feed is still such an infant entity. I mean, look, I have 7 followers, and my following number has actually gone up in the past couple days. Once I committed myself to the school librarian track, I started seeking out the resources that would help me and guide me in the teacher part of teacher librarian. I'm going to go through and hit my top 10. Brene Brown, it's Brene Brown. Reading Dairy Greatly was the kick in the pants I needed to step out and do this thing. All the times over the past couple years in this program when I've got discouraged or overwhelmed, out of my depth, just not feeling academic-y enough, I'm reminded that I earned my place here as well. And my best work has been when I'm staying authentic and vulnerable. Brene has also recently partnered with educators on developing a daring classroom, and that seriously gives me life. Daily STEM is one of my main bridge builders. I don't follow every educator that he retweets, but I've certainly discovered some amazing resources and connections through him. I have been a Donna Miller fan for a while, so of course when I ventured into Twitter, she was one of the first ones I started following. I'm also a big fan of her Nerdy Book Club, which I also follow. She has been one that's led me to other amazing people on Twitter. Jennifer Gonzalez's blog, Cult of Pedagogy, is another one of those blogs I need in my life. Coming into this teacher librarian field without a teaching background has been an uphill climb. People like Jennifer Gonzalez are here to remind me daily that I'm not on this journey alone, and I don't have to have it all figured out. Trevor Aleo tweets a ridiculous amount about innovative teaching and learning. He is just an amazing resource for teachers and librarians. PBS teachers, if you're a teacher or school librarian, you have got to be following them. They are this amazing goldmine of free quality teaching material. Their retweets and likes have also introduced me to others who are now a part of my network. Angela Stockman is quickly becoming one of my go-to sources for curriculum development and lesson planning. I started following our YA authors, and they are just among the greatest humans alive. I've tagged the authors in each of my book snaps, and the ones who've responded just made my day. I discovered my school district's librarians on Twitter, so I started following a few of them, and they became my bridges to more instructional training sites and teacher leaders. Henrico County Public School Library is pretty much the mothership. Through the main Twitter page, I've been able to connect to other school librarians in my district, and they are just amazing. How can you be a school librarian and not follow Library Girl? I came across her blog some time ago and was in all the resources and wisdom she shared. So imagine my delight when I read her name as my instructor for not just one course, but 2 courses this semester. Online learning is just one of the greatest things ever. Edutopia, its online journal, has been my go-to source for articles, research, and latest in all things education. Their Twitter feed has probably been one of my most influential bridges in building this professional learning network. In this top 10 list, they are right there at the top. The blogs, journals, and newsletters are a tremendous source of information and my professional development. I will continue to follow, read, and grow those resources. When my first copy of Knowledge Quest showed up addressed to me, I got a little emotional. However, I envision Twitter as being my #1 source of that crucial connected network. Right now, I'm still very much a consumer and not a creator or contributor. For where I'm at, just starting out in this field, I'm okay with that. Later down the road, who knows? One day, my follower count may actually go to the double digits.